Twilight. It's winter, it's cold. People watch more movies. I want to talk about the Twilight series. Bella doesn't know what she wants to do after high school. Should I become a werewolf or should I become a vampire? What do you want to do, Bella? Graduation's approaching. You want to roll around with the dogs or you want to have money? Bella decides that she wants to marry a rich guy and all it costs her is her soul, and then she gets to feed off the blood of the living. Spoiler alert for the Twilight series. Bella picks vampire. It's not a career option for everyone, but this is a woman's fantasy. Twilight, it was based on 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction, where the guy that was her BDSM daddy was also a vampire that drank her blood. And then they turned it into a hit book series and then hit movies. And these postcards are evidence that I had women around in my life. They're not even really postcards. I had the physical media of because see, they're not postcards. Like, what are these? Are these the things that the Japanese kids hang in their closets that they live in? I don't know. So anyway, what are these really? They're too big to be, I guess you could make it a postcard, but anyway, they're mine now because I have too many DVDs and all the Twilight stuff is buried in the bottom of some box somewhere. I own them. I have the whole series. I used to get laid, it's true. And but I found the postcards first, so I'm like, okay, we're just gonna do the postcards. So you want to see them? I don't know what else to call them. They're like lobby cards, and people don't know what lobby cards are because movie theaters don't have lobby cards trying to sell you on a movie. You just watch the trailer on your phone. You can probably watch the movie on your phone too. But anyway, it's a coming of age story. Bella's a sullen teen, and comes from a broken home. So she wants an older man to push her around because older guys have money. And Edward Cullen is like 200 years older than Bella. As a 200-year-old man that has the body of a teenage hunk or what, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm a man. And then he falls in love with a 17-year-old girl because she stinks. It's true. Oh, the way that she smells. I want her blood. That's what it's about. Stephanie Meyer's a weirdo, but apparently, there's a thing called BookTok, and all the stuff, like, however weird this sounds, what do you want to be? You want to be a werewolf or a vampire? Well, vampires have more money. So she picks vampire. Even though the werewolf guy's in better shape, but he's like blue-collar working class werewolf guy. He's a rich guy. He looks like one of the royals or whatever. Doesn't he look like one of those guys that's gonna become king or something? Anyway, he drinks her blood, and then they have unholy baby that has some of the really everybody remembers, and maybe you don't because you're a man. It's mostly men watching this channel. But you will get some laughs and you'll be worried if your girlfriend likes these movies and she doesn't laugh when she watches them. I remember when these movies were new and then they went to pay cable, like people still used to have pay cable back then. And I knew I knew two different women, none of which that I was romantic with. And every time I saw them, they had those Twilight movies on a loop. They were always playing the Twilight movies off of like on demand or cable, or maybe it was DVDs, I don't really remember. But I was like, every time they just played it. It was just like programming, like they were just like always playing the Twilight movies. It was kind of lame. And I was like, oh, they're lonely and probably horny. It's terrible, isn't it? So this is the kind of stuff that women like. And apparently a lot of women like this kind of stuff because it's a big hit. And it wasn't just teenage girls. It was old bags, because that's mostly what I know anymore. And they liked this. So if you have a woman in your life, because I know it's dudes watching this, unless a woman straggles by, women like this. If she likes this and she's not laughing at it and doesn't think that it's comical, well, maybe, you need to gauge who you're with and whether or not you want to show the Twilight movies to her. This isn't a thing that guys usually seek out, but I know what it's like to lay with a woman, so I've seen these. And I said I have DVDs. I have a bunch of DVDs that are like leftovers from ended relationships. It's weird. Stephanie Meyer's made some other movie called The Host. Not that Chinese movie that everybody liked a couple years ago, where it was like a sea serpent and it was killing Chinese people. It was like Mini Godzilla or something. It was like Loch Ness Monster comes out of a lake in China, starts eating people and shit. Not that, The Host. It's Stephanie Meyer's The Host, and it's about where aliens come from outer space, but really they're just demons and they possess people. So all the people on the earth get taken over by demons. And this story is about people who are on the run because they don't want to get possessed by demons. So Stephanie Meyer, she goes from Twilight, and Bella, you want to do 50 Shades of Grey with a vampire and drink the blood, and all it's going to cost you is your soul. And then she goes and does The Host, where it's an alien invasion flick, where everybody on the planet gets taken over by demons, and then people fall in love with, who am I in love with? Am I in love with the guy, or am I in love with his demons? I don't know. And it was supposed to be like a trilogy, but it wasn't a hit like Twilight was, so they only ever made one movie with The Host. Go look at the creepy teaser trailer. Maybe I'll tack it on to the end of this review. I'm gonna include the trailer for Stephanie Meyer's The Host, and you can see that she's a weirdo. She may be Illuminate confirmed. Maybe she drank the blood. Maybe Stephanie Meyer's drank the blood. You thought she was just writing fan fiction, 50 Shades of Grey, and you didn't know that before I told you? I'm telling you. Twilight's based on fan fiction for softcore porn. I'm gonna go back to BookTok. I believe that Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey led to what's now BookTok, because 50 Shades of Grey was like, what, she wants to be tied up and get spankings and all that stuff. And remember the guy spanking Dakota Johnson's fanny? And it's like all this. I did see the 50 Shades of Grey. It was a Pirate Bay movie. Or was it Put Locker or one of those old sites? You know what I mean? We could just go watch movies for free. Like they'd put them up and like, we don't care about your country's movies or box office. You can just watch it for free. So I did see 50 Shades of Grey, and I was like, it's really lame. And at the end, she gets a spanking at the end, like literally, like the movie's, she gets a spanking, you get to see her bare ass, and I'm like, that's it. That's like a woman, like that's tame, good. The women aren't so far gone. Well, now you know from Women's Book Talk that they ruined that, and there's all these deceptive covers of books in Barnes and Nobles, because it's like the only bookstore that's allowed anymore. You know, Walmart's the store, Target's the other store. It's illusion of competition. All food comes from Monsanto, and all the pre-approved books are at Barnes and Nobles, or you can order them off of Amazon. And it's just porn for women. The books that they have now for women on Women's Book Talk are disgusting. Like Twilight leads to Bigfoot Makes Me Come, which is, I think, it's pretty much, I think that's the direct title of one of these Book Talk books is, I Come for Bigfoot, C-U-M for Bigfoot. And there's all these deceptive, it looks like teen, like why is this old lady reading like a teen romance book or whatever, but it's not. They're like really perverted, and they involve ghosts and incest, pornography, and all. It's like they're disgusting. So go watch a Book Talk, Woman's Book Talk. I think Papa Meat did a couple Woman's Book Talk. Watch him. He always gets the horrible, gory details, and then he giggles at it because, you know, his videos are kind of disgusting on purpose. It's kind of his whole thing. So they're funny. You laugh at them. Go look up Papa Meat Book Talk. I think he's got like 2 videos like that. And this is my Twilight review. Go watch my Lost Boys review. The Lost Boys, it's Joel Shoemaker's cult classic. It was also a hit, I think. It was a hit on cable TV and probably in the movie theaters. It's a movie about vampires, but really it's a metaphor about being gay. And so go watch my Lost Boys review if you haven't seen it already. This was my Twilight review. Women are weird. They have weird ideas. There is a whole genre called women's romance novels, and they're just horny books that women used to read, and guys didn't care about it, so they didn't know it was in there. And it was all just about setting up sex scenarios. Men were watching porn if they could find it. They weren't reading porn. They had like Letters to Penthouse or something. Most guys weren't reading that stuff. They're just looking at, like, here's a picture of a naked woman. Go shoot. Now, but women were reading books. They wanted, like, that's why women, they would say guys don't care about foreplay. They do. But you know, you are one, right? And women do care about foreplay. So these romance novels, you know, like you're laying in bed next to your husband, and then, not you, but the woman's laying in bed next to her husband, and then she's reading this sexy book, and then he like tries to approach sex. She's like, no, I'm reading my book. She's getting off on the book. So now women are hornier and lonelier than ever, and they think that men have everything has the ick, and nobody's good enough, and they're swiping. And then I blame Twilight. Twilight helped enculturate that shit. How disgusting women are now, and how the youth has been corrupted. The young women of, I suppose, generations Z and Alpha and Beta or whatever. They're grown-ups, and I don't know. Zoomers are grown-ups now, right? Most of them. So why are they like that? Why are they, well, the internet. I blame the internet. But one of the things that helped them get weird was this Twilight movies. The women were like, you know, I didn't know that I would like this kind of shit, but I do. And now that's why your girlfriend's like that. She's kind of weird. I know I don't know you, but it doesn't matter. She's weird, right? She does like weird shit. Women weren't used to, they didn't used to be like that. They were simpler. There was no internet to corrupt us. And you had to go to a secret room in the video store to get VHS pornos. And, you know, women didn't want to see that shit. Now they're alone with themselves, like, oh, maybe I'll try it. So I blame Twilight. It's partly responsible. And all the vampire shit. And there's a thing, I think there's a thing called blood talk. Is there a thing called blood talk? There's witch talk. And all, you know, I blame Harry Potter for the witch talk stuff. But all this romanticizing vampires, it's nothing new. The Lost Boys, it's right here because I just did the review of that. Lost Boys it's romanticizing. Isn't it kind of cool to be a vampire because you get powers and abilities? And he's like, yeah, I don't know if maybe I'm just gay for this summer. So Lost Boys, maybe you want to see that. It's about the story of Jason Patrick he puts the thing in his mouth and he's like, I don't know, maybe it's not for me. And then he winds up with Jamie Gertz, and they murder the other gay. They all get killed. It's crime. It's like think of this as like American History X without redemption, I guess. I don't know. So they go around the Lost Boys. Keith Sutherland and Alex Winter and all their friends get gay bashed by homophobic Corey Feldman, and Jason Patrick says, you know what? Maybe I'm not real. Maybe I'm in the women. That's the Lost Boys. So go watch my review of the Lost Boys. And this is my review of Twilight. So that's what I think about Twilight. And here's the other postcards. It's just dumb. And, you know, it's corny. And, you know, it's cold. Why am I showing this? Dude, like, you don't give a shit about this. I'm done with the Twilight shit. I just wanted to do reviews. Like, some of my, like, it's cold outside. These are December videos. So I was like, well, you know, I refuse to believe that people aren't dating and pairing up. They tell us that they're not, and maybe there's a lot of people that are isolated and alone. They traumatized the world when I told everybody to stay home, take a bubble bath, and get in line, and shoot up and all that stuff. And that's heartbreaking. They kept us 6 feet apart from each other. They made us hide our faces so we couldn't fall in love with each other. But people still are falling in love, and if you have somebody, you know, maybe you will want to watch Twilight. I don't know, if you're a dude, you're probably not going to watch this alone, but I kind of just wanted to make fun of it because I did the Lost Boys review, and it's kind of just like a joke. So I feel the same way about Twilight, because it's like women shit. I'm a man, so it's weird to me. And you know, it's not just Japan that's obsessed with high school. Women are kind of obsessed with high school. When they make a lot of these movies, they don't do it so much anymore, because like Disney is down on romance, and they have an anti-human stance. Used to be Disney's a family company. Now they're an anti-human company, because BlackRock said we have to force behaviors, and Disney's like, yes. So you remember Twilight, when women were actually like, oh, well, you know, it'd be great if some guy was obsessed with me and he stalked me like a psycho, but he had money and he was hot. And he wanted to drink my fucking blood. Drink the blood, Bella. Drink the werewolf. The guy doesn't even have any money. What are you talking about? The guy doesn't have money. Look, they all live in shacks. The werewolf guys, who cares? He doesn't have any money. Of course he's gonna go to the gym. It's the only way to get a woman. This guy he's got money, and he's a wealthy elite who's drinks the blood of the living. It's just your soul. Give us your soul, Bella. We'll have a vampire baby. We'll have a muggle baby. That's Harry Potter. I've never even seen all those movies. I had a progeny and they were young, and I'm like, okay, we'll go see Harry Potter. And then they didn't like it, so I was like, great, we don't have to see that. I really had an easy time as a dad, because they didn't like Pokemon. They didn't like Harry Potter. And there's probably like 7 other things. They didn't like any of that shit. So it was cool that they weren't in this. They like to be outside, lifting up rocks, playing sports, filling up girls. That's how you're supposed to be. So, except for the last one. You're supposed to wait till you're married. But anyway, Twilight. It's a story about coming of age. What do I do after high school? Well, find a guy with money, and it's basically like they probably also do 50 Shades of Grey stuff. It comes blood. Do you see that scene? She wipes her face off, blood off her face in the mirror because she blew the vampire. Whatever. I'm gonna go now. I've got nothing else. It's bullshit. Twilight movies suck. Don't watch them. But if you have a woman, maybe you'll crack up and you're like, I don't know, you want to watch Twilight? It's like, yeah. She knows what they are and she likes them. And also, it's like Red Flag. You want to know about Red Flag? You want me to transition into Red Flag women video? They like Twilight. Or if they read books. Women don't read books. If she's reading books, crack one of her books open. This is my advice for dudes, because that's who's watching this. This is my advice for dudes. If you have a girlfriend who reads, you gotta crack open her books, because she's getting turned on by nasty shit. Sorry to let you know that. You've been told, okay? If you have a girlfriend that reads books, she's thinking about nasty shit. So, you know, maybe you think that's a good thing. I don't know what God thinks about that. You better think about what God thinks about all that stuff. But don't you want to know, like, who you're dating? You're like, yeah, she likes to read. She's really smart and she reads. I don't know. It's like girl bullshit, it's woman shit. I don't care about that. Crack it open. It's gonna be the book's drenched in cum and pussy juice and all. It's gross. So, and weird shit. You know, like, you find out what kind of freak you got. And that's my review of Twilight.
Here are the outtakes.
Twilight. Today's movie review is Twilight. It's winter. It's cold outside. You watch more movies or videos about movies. Today's video is a review of Twilight. Bella doesn't know what she wants to do after high school. Should I become a werewolf or should I become a vampire? What do you want to do, Bella? Make up your mind. You want to roll around with the dogs? Graduation's approaching. You want to roll around with the dogs? Or do you want to be with a guy who has money? All it will cost you is your soul, and you get to become an elite who feed off the life force of all the other living beings on the planet. She picks vampire. Spoiler alert for the Twilight series. I don't know if you know. She just decides to become
The earth is at peace. There are no wars. There is no hunger. Honesty, courtesy,